here's why the Western family has fallen apart, or at least part of why it has fallen apart. In the 15 years between the publication of Between Parent and Child by New York psychologist Haim Ginott in 1965 and 1980's publication of How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, there was a paradigm shift. At the time of the earlier example, the family was adult-centric, but by the time of the later one, it was now child-centric. The importance of self-esteem had replaced respect for others. Chores were out, weekend activities and extracurricular ones were in. Mental health professionals took over from the wisdom of elders or learning anything from history, because after all, what could those outdated, unscientific ideas do anyway? We're so much happier and less deranged now, aren't we?
These guys are crazy, man.
And the most dramatic change of all, perhaps, was that good parenting became defined as properly understanding and responding to the feelings of the child. The new experts told parents that a child's feelings were a barometer of his psychological health, and that psychological health trumped every other consideration. The new rule was that if your child was emotionally distressed, you'd done something wrong and you needed to fix it. If you happen to have an IQ greater than that of a grapefruit, it should be obvious that putting kids' emotions in charge of the family may have downsides. Proverbs 22:15 says something just along those lines. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child. And so we should ask the question, has our plan to turn all of our children into antisocial narcissistic tyrants borne good fruit? And it turns out, very surprisingly, no, not really. It hasn't at all. We're diagnosing them more than ever, medicating them more than ever, and their relationships with their parents are worse than ever. Even a recent Barna poll found that only 2% of Gen Zers, whatever you want to call it, and millennials possess a biblical worldview. A biblical worldview is, by the way, God-centric. The worldview that now prevails among American young people is not centered around God. It's not even centered around others. It is centered around me, and that is why things are falling apart.